Happy holidays, my comic comrades. Today we're starting our coverage on a brand new title with Batman Catwoman, issue 1 by Tom King. The first issue dropped a couple of weeks ago, and as the title of our episode suggests, it brings the iconic Batman the Animated Series villain, the Phantasm, into DC's main continuity. So that being the case, we had to bring it to you all and see where it goes. Although I have to add, with everything going on in death metal and DC in general, we can only assume this title is bringing the Phantasm into main DC continuity. Because to be honest, we still don't have full confirmation of what will and won't be in continuity after all said and done. I mean, we have the main Batman title being written by James Tynion and the death metal event being written by Scott Snyder, both of which are main continuity books. But then we got Jeff Johns' Three Jokers, which started in main continuity yet ended up under Black Label. And now we got Tom King's Batman Catwoman, which also lands under Black Label, but it's continuing the story he started in the main Batman title. So it's all over the place, and we're just gonna have to wait and see where it all goes. Regardless, the return of the Phantasm and the expansion of her mythos has been long awaited by all of us fans, so we're gonna continue to cover the entire miniseries just for you guys. But before we dive into issue 1, we also want to thank NordVPN for sponsoring today's Phantasm goodness. As we've all noticed, the world has recently changed in serious ways, with one of the biggest changes being how much more we're doing things digitally these days, especially our holiday shopping, because if you're anything like me, you've done all of your holiday shopping online this year, as in all of it. So with that being the case, we protect our digital selves with the best VPN available, NordVPN. And you should definitely start doing the same by going to nordvpn.com/variant to set up a VPN account with the company we trust. Setting up NordVPN couldn't be easier. You just get an account, download the app on your computer and your phone, then sign in and turn it on. It's really that simple. And once you turn it on, NordVPN immediately starts hiding your IP address by redirecting your connection through one of Nord's 5,400 plus remote servers. You could even choose double data encryption for even greater privacy. Another great feature that we're always talking about is the ability to choose a server in one of the 59 countries NordVPN has available and explore the unique exclusive content on Netflix, Disney Plus, or other streaming services in those areas around the world. It's freaking dope. Bottom line, with NordVPN, you get insanely fast servers, no data logging, military-grade encryption, up to 6 simultaneous connections, 24/7 customer support, and a ton more. And they back it all up with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And right now, you can jump on a sweet holiday offer by going to nordvpn.com/variant, and they'll hook you up with 68% off a 2-year plan and 4 additional months as a bonus for freezies. Just make sure you use the promo code VARIANT at checkout. In fact, after you're done securing your digital life, grab a second plan as a holiday gift for the web warriors you know. Again, go to nordvpn.com/VARIANT and use the code VARIANT at account signup. You'll be glad you did. But now it's time for some Batman Catwoman issue 1. The issue opens up in the future with an elderly Catwoman driving in her convertible on a bridge while listening to Silent Night. We are then taken to what I assume is the present, where we see a redheaded woman sitting next to a fireplace and a Christmas tree saying, "Thank you for seeing me, Bruce." To which he replies, "Of course." She then says, "The house hasn't changed much. It's very nice." Bruce replies, "How can I help you, Andrea?" Revealing that this is Andrea Beaumont, Bruce's first love, and as all Batman fans know, the Phantasm. Andrea goes on to say, "I'm guessing that's Alfred's influence. He was never one for change." Bruce replies, "Andrea, I'm sorry to tell you, Alfred's passed." As Bruce envisions Alfred offering them dinner or breakfast. After this, the next panel shows us an imaginary Alfred accidentally walking in on Bruce and Selina getting it on. Or this could be when Alfred was alive, as this takes place in the past. I don't know, it's super vague. To be honest, at first I thought this was Andrea, but the lady in the bed with Bruce has short black hair, meaning this is Selina. That's the one thing I will say about this issue before we go any further. It jumps around 3 different timelines and events often, and the transitions aren't the easiest to follow. So I just wanted to warn you guys about that up front. We are then taken back to the future where this elderly Catwoman has arrived at Seabird Island, which is some sort of retirement home type place. Selina then says to her cat, "Okay, sweetie, looks like we're here. Told you it wouldn't take so long." She then walks up to one of the houses and rings the doorbell while singing to herself Silent Night. An old man then opens the door saying, "Sorry miss, I was watching a show and I couldn't get the volume to go down." My God, Selina Kyle, is that you? After all these years? She then looks at the old man saying, "Hello." The comic then jumps back to the present where Batman and Catwoman are posing all superhero style, with Batman saying, "Andrea Beaumont, an old friend I haven't seen for some time. She's here about her son. He's 14. He's a runaway. She thinks he's come to Gotham," as they start making their way across Gotham's rooftops. Catwoman then says, "This is your first love who later became a killer vigilante. That sometimes happens with your loves. Didn't she die in a fire with the Joker?" Batman replies, "The Joker survived. So did she, apparently. She's been in hiding for years afraid of the Joker, came out to find her boy." So not only are they bringing the Phantasm into comic book Batman continuity, but apparently they're also going to use the same origin or story for the Phantasm as they did in the animated movie. Because as we know, at the end of Mask of the Phantasm, the Joker and the Phantasm apparently died in a fire, which is what they just referenced here in the comic. With that said, there's the obvious change that in this rendition, she now has a son, and that wasn't a thing in the movie. In any case, Batman goes on to tell Catwoman the kid's lost in the city. No resources, no one to help him. I thought you might know where to start looking. We then get a panel of Batman and Catwoman kissing, but it's from a different time because they're wearing different costumes. The comic then takes us back to the future where an older Catwoman says, "Are these your grandkids?" while looking at a picture. The man replies, "Yeah, that's Nathan and his family. It's the twins' birthday this week. Gotta remember to call them. I try to sing to all of them." The man then asks, "How about you? You must have some of your own by now. How's Helena?" Selena replies, "She's dating a very nice woman, a doctor. We all had dinner. But with everything, I don't know if it's gonna work out. There have been a few others I've had high hopes for." The man then replies, "Yeah, well, that's a problem with our chosen profession, isn't it? While running about at night, it's hard to find what we're looking for." The man then says, "Ha, I suppose that's true enough. Suppose we did pretty good. My, it's good to see you." So at this point in time, we still don't know who this man is. Apparently, though, he's worked with Selena during his nightlife. So maybe he's a former villain, or maybe even a Robin, even though he seems too old to be like Tim Drake or Grayson. We don't know yet. And then on the next page, we're taken back to the present where we're introduced to the freaking Sewer King. That's right, the Sewer King from Batman the Animated Series also makes his debut in this issue. For those of you who don't remember, he's the leader of the Underdwellers, and he only appeared in one episode of Batman the Animated Series titled The Underdwellers. Essentially, he runs a child slavery racket in the sewers of Gotham City. Anyway, Catwoman confronts him, and the Sewer King says, "I remember you. It seems like yesterday. The lovely little girl with all the kitties." Catwoman then says, "Sewer King, you get one question. Answer it. Andrew Beaumont, 14 years old. Where?" He replies, "I miss you, kitty girl. Wherever did you go?" Alluding that when she was a girl, she was one of his child slaves, but was able to escape. So that's actually pretty crazy. But ultimately, the Sewer King has his gators attack both Batman and Catwoman while saying, "How dare you, girl? What were you when I found you? Lost, starving, dying. Who protected you from the city? Who taught you a trade? How to live? What would you be without me, girl? Another dead cat." So not only was she his slave once upon a time, he apparently taught her how to be a thief. This is all new information regarding Catwoman's origin and upbringing. But at the same time, it's kind of cool to make a Batman the Animated Series villain part of continuity in this way, linking her to Catwoman's origin. We are then taken back to the past where it looks like the Joker and Catwoman are out to hit the same target, Jimmy the Lion, the enforcer for the Bertinellis. We see Catwoman sneaking in like the cat burglar she is, trying to steal his jewelry, but then the Joker turns the light on next to his bed, holding a Tommy gun looking like he's a 50s mobster saying, "Hello, darling. I thought I might find you here. Are you having fun?" She replies, "Jimmy the Lion, such a bad man, but he has such a fine taste in jewelry." She then says, "You had to?" referring to the Joker, jokerizing him. Joker says, "What do you want from me? I got bored. You took so long. I'm not perfect." She replies, "Yeah, well, who is?" Joker then says, "How about this? Last week Batman hit me in the neck so hard, my doctor says I may never speak again. I can't tell you how upset I am." Catwoman says, "It's not funny. You can't say that one out loud. It doesn't work." Joker then says, "Oh, darling, you're a villain and you're sleeping with the bat. Are you really in the position to say what does and doesn't work?" Back in the present, Catwoman is able to track down a kid who worked with Andrew Beaumont via the intel her and Batman were able to pry from the Sewer King. The kid tells her, "Last time I saw him, he was living with a guy in a tent under Wayne Bridge. The guy said he could hook him up." Catwoman says, "Hook him up with what?" The boy says, "With his dad." Then in the past, we get another shot of this 50s mob-looking Joker, which I gotta say, I love this design for him. He looks so cool. But anyway, he's asking Catwoman, "Do you know who he is?" Catwoman says, "Yes." He then says, "Will you kill him for me?" She says no. So obviously they're talking about Batman. Anyway, Catwoman then says, "I gotta get going. I'm already late." And he's, well, you know, if nothing, he's very punctual. The Joker then tells Catwoman, "You know, darling, this isn't you." She then replies, "Oh yeah? Who am I?" And he says, "That's easy. You're fun." Then back in the future, this older Catwoman tells this mysterious man that she's visiting that Bruce Wayne is dead. He got sick and died. But don't worry, his whole family was there and I told him I loved him before he died. The man then just starts crying, saying, "Oh God." Then back in the present, I told you this comic jumps around timelines a lot. Batman and Catwoman find Andrew Beaumont dead and killed by the Joker. And later on, Bruce has to break the news to Andrea at the police station, telling her they said he was looking for his father. "Andrea, where is his father?" And she tells him, "Dead. He's dead." The comic then goes back to the future again, where this old man is saying, "I'm sorry, I don't usually, it's the end of something. You get to a certain age, and these days, everything is just the end of something." Selena then tells him, "It's okay, all I've done is cry." The two then hug while the man says, "Batman is dead. What do we do?" And Selena tells him, "Oh, you know, darling, you know it so well. He's gone. He can't stop me now from what you did. For Andrea, I finally get to kill you." We then see the old man take off his glasses and his wig while he starts laughing, only to reveal this is an elderly Joker. So that's kind of crazy. I gotta admit, that's a pretty nutty reveal. And now that Batman's dead, there's no one to stop Catwoman from killing the Joker once and for all. And it's pretty crazy that Batman's wife is going to be the one to finally kill the Joker. Anyway, the comic then jumps to the present or the past one more time, where we see Andrea Beaumont digging up her old Phantasm costume, ready to become the Phantasm once more to avenge her son's death. As we look at her sitting at the edge of her bed with her costume right next to her, staring out the window while listening to Silent Night on the radio, as it's snowing in the city and the camera pulls out, and with that, the issue ends. All in all, I thought this issue was a good start to the series. I may be a little biased because this comic was very Batman the Animated Series heavy, introducing the Phantasm and the Sewer King into Batman continuity outside of the Batman animated universe. I'm very curious to learn more about her son and who's the father, because again, in the animated universe, she didn't have a kid. But Tom King and the whole creative team are obviously changing that for their rendition of the Phantasm. Again, we've never seen the Phantasm in comics outside of the animated comic continuity, so I'm very stoked to see what Tom King and the whole creative team do with her. They're definitely changing her up a little bit, so all I'm saying is, please do her justice. She's one of my top 10 favorite Batman villains, so treat her well. With that said, what are your thoughts on this debut of Batman Catwoman issue 1? Are you stoked as I am to see Batman animated series characters like the Phantasm and Sewer King make their debut in DC Comics proper continuity? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. First up for the week of the 16th, we have Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black issue 2. Spider-Man and the Black Knight must team up to topple the otherworldly plot that threatens to turn everything in the known universe into creatures made of living shadow. Now we have Batman issue 105. Batman battles Ghostmaker in the no-holds-barred, bloody conclusion of this epic tale. Winner takes Gotham City. And the outcome is not what you're expecting. The future of Gotham City and the fate of the Clownmaker hang in the balance. Here we have Star Wars Darth Vader issue 8. Hungry for vengeance after his brutal punishment at the hands of the Emperor, can Darth Vader uncover his master's secrets in the depths of Mustafar? Stripped of his greatest weapons, can the Dark Lord survive the fire and the eye? And finally, we have Death Metal issue 6. The battle rages on as the entire DC universe stands against the Darkest Night. Villains fight alongside heroes, working as one to banish this demon from the deepest corners of the dark multiverse. Meanwhile, the Robin King lurks nearby, his army of groblins in wait. The dogs of war are loose, and no one is safe. And just like that, my comic comrades, that brings another episode of Variant to a close. But if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. It always helps us out. But I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.